milk fats that are naturally part of it. So it's a creamier thing. Because if you walk in the grocery store and you look at the milk, any of it, especially the stuff that's 0 fat or 2% fat or 1%, this much of the top of it is clear. It's nothing but water. Because like she said, any so-called vitamin C, calcium, vitamins, anything they put in it, it's all fake. Yeah. Because they've over pasteurized the crap out of it. So what you're buying is not even real milk anymore. And they do have to tell you before, and it's insane. They have to tell you before you purchase it, and there's even tags on some of it, that it's not for human consumption. I'm like, are you kidding? I mean, just like all of our families, generations previous to us being alive, like what the hell did they eat this entire time?
Yeah.
They were going out and milk. I mean, all of us had generations behind us whose families were going out and they were grabbing the udder of a cow, and that's where they were getting their milk for the day.
Yeah.
They're getting in the chicken coops and they're grabbing their eggs for the day.
Yeah.
Or they go out and they take down a cow or a pig.
And the funny thing is, I haven't touched dairy in probably 40 years.
Same.
Because every time I did, I'd go in these coughing fits, and then I'd get the slime running down, the mucus down the back of your throat because it caused so much allergic reactions. Wow. I had to give it up. I can't do ice cream, cheeses, because it causes a lot of mucus issues with my sinuses. And I said, well, you know what? The more research I did about the A2 and how it affects the human body compared to the A1 and what they sell in the stores, and being more of a raw form, since we have tried it, I have not had any mucus buildup whatsoever, any reaction to it. So I like to make myself a guinea pig. So I'm like, well, I'm going to try it. I don't know, because I wasn't 100% sure about it. But once I researched and then said, I'm going to try it and see, and then just waited to see, I was like, okay, no mucus, no reactions, no bloating, no feeling like, constantly like I had to clear my throat or something. None of that has happened since we've gotten and tried the raw milk from the A2 cows.
Yeah. I hadn't drank milk once. I feel like ice cream and cheese, it's like saying you like peach cobbler but don't like peaches,
right.
But that's one thing I kind of pull back on certain things. I still like certain things to eat. Like I just like this afternoon, me and my nephew, we did the laundry, and he took me out and went over, got a few things because it's about the end of the month. I usually want to get stack a couple of things for, and it's just, and that's the thing about it. Food is an important part of a bodybuilding process. It both can be a weapon and tool. Like after the show, this is a question I ask you, ladies and gentlemen. After the show, what was that thing that you wanted the most, especially after being that long prepped and that food is calling? It's calling your name, baby. It's calling your name.
You know what it is?
What?
Breakfast. I want waffles. I want pancakes. I want eggs Benedict. And then, bacon on the side and an English muffin. And I will eat all that at one breakfast sitting right after prep.
Yeah.
After the show's done.
Yeah.
Those carbs
it's large. They look at it like we're nuts. They're like, you can eat all that? We're like, I'm going to. I might not be able to move for an hour, but I'm going to eat it.
You'll be telling Tony, push me out the door. Just roll me over.
He's just as bad.
Well, you got to put we've been in restaurants where they will bring, because we when we go to breakfast like that, we literally order 2 entrees a piece. It's going to be pancakes or waffles or French toast. So you're going to have the kind of the sweet, and then there's going to be the savory part where it's going to be the bacon and eggs and hash browns. We will both order one of each, and the servers, especially if they're not all waiters, the whoever's dropping off the food, they're coming over there with 4 plates or 4.5 plates of food, and it's just 2 of us sitting there. They're like, did the other party get up and go to the bathroom? They're like, no, it's all our food. Just set it down. So and we'll plow the plates. I mean, they're freaking empty. We don't. And a lot of times we'll, like this past time, we'll order extra bacon apart from what comes with it. So
and then we pop right back on to clean eating.
Yeah,
like okay, that's good. We're back to our regular scheduled meal.
Yeah. Speaking of the devil here, my man KL the Wanderer, he's also his content. He says, "Good evening, people. Good evening, brother." Also, he says, "I learned that they put pork in most of everything from bread to cakes. There's a lot of stuff. we not aware of. Yeah, because I used to work, the place I used to work where I got my heart attack was Smithfield. They were the biggest, especially North Carolina, the biggest, processed pork distributors around. I remember one time we had this little incident happen. Some fecal matter got in some of the meat. So to shut down everything, have to clean the machines over again. I mean, it was like almost we were on a break for about good 3 hours before we get back to work, and then we had, it was over because it took so much time. I remember one time when this was my first time working, I had to work in an area where we could wash down the hogs, and I had this my lab coat, my clothes were sucking like water and blood. My mom told me throw in the washing machine. She threw some peroxide on it, and it was okay. But yeah, I think that's one thing about this. It's like, anyway, but right now you say you work coaching yourself before. Y'all working with a coach now, or is just still y'all two just working each other up?
We used a coach running into Tampa. Vic and I, because we're mass wise, we're not the biggest. We usually come in about the middle mass wise, so we usually rely on we can both achieve a pretty high level of conditioning. We use that to offset our lack of mass. And but this coach we had last time, he's actually one of the best minds in bodybuilding. Everybody knows who he is, and but he likes to push a lot of food. Kept trying to fill us out, and what it did, it kind of blew us both out of the water. We're a little bit blurry, even though we managed to pull out some top fives in this, we were still blurry. And so after that,
and it caused a lot of sinus issues too, because a lot of gluten and a lot of fries and burgers just really caused hectic stuff on our for 2 weeks. So I was like, I can't do this. It's just too much toxicity. My body's not used to having a couple times. First it was like twice a week, and then it was close to the show. And at the show we had it like almost twice a day, of the same food and burgers and fries and stuff. And it's like I am so burnt out. I don't want this no more. And again, like you said, kind of spilt over. Because we always we have a certain look we like. And I know coach always just tries to learn you and just like, okay, well, I want to make sure you got enough fill. And I get that, but it just wasn't quite the look we really wanted. And stuff. And when you look at the pictures after and see them, you're like, oh yeah. And then we did comparison, which when we took it into our own hands, changed the diet completely, added some healthier stuff and got rid of a lot of carbs. We didn't even do carbs. We definitely didn't even carb up. We just used healthy fats to do it. And the comparison from both shows, we looked so much tighter
in just 2 weeks
and really lost a little volume, but the look was a just much crisper, better look. So when I do a side by side from each show, even though they're only about a week and a half to 2 weeks apart, you could see a difference of that. So
we dried out a lot.
We love to take coaches and just pick and take that knowledge and go, okay, this worked for me. This did not work for me. Okay, a different coach maybe down the road or something. This might work for me. That might not work for me. The same with my very first coach. Did a great job when I went pro, had an off season. He blew me up to where I was almost 170 pounds. And then when it was time to come on prep, he decided, didn't run the same diet that I had to go pro. He decided, I'm going to run you with no carbs, and completely just ran me awful. And I had this really just awful look on myself. Most people say, you looked great. I'm like, yeah, but you're not as, I want to be here. I don't want to, you might say, oh, you look good here. You're like, no, I want to look good here. So we're so hard on ourselves.
You want to be the upper stratosphere. And also think I remember men and women are often built like women, because especially you have kids, women, you have more of a higher BMI. You hold fat more in areas like your chest, your hips, everything else. Men, we are
the worst area.
We're more built lean. We can, like, when I lost weight. I remember one time I lost some weight, and my sister said, "You lost more weight than I did." Well, because we have natural testosterone, or we can burn it a lot faster compared to women,
right?
Because and I think that's the thing is that I think each different coach needs to really work. Like some coaches give the same kind of cookie cutter plan. But it doesn't work especially comes to women. You have to be like some ladies who I've talked to. They told me, I love this coach because he understands my biology, he understands this. We talk about this. Some coaches will slap you with this. Hey, take this, take that, eat that. You really have to be well-rounded as a coach, understand the factors of what's growing for an athlete. So, like in your training, what y'all like when you're in the gym? What's that training say? I love it doing today. I'm so happy. And then one say, shit, well, I got to do it.
I don't like doing chest. Chest is my worst thing I like to work out. Believe it or not, I don't know why. I just do not like doing chest. I guess maybe it breaks down. I got a little tear from a car wreck years ago when I was high school. So I do have, it looks like a little deformity because the chest muscle ripped off from the sternum. So it's a little deformed on one side. But for some reason, I just never really enjoyed chest. But every other body part, I love. Shoulders are my favorite. Legs. I love to demolish legs, glutes, and hamstrings. I want it where I can barely walk downstairs or sit on the toilet.
I'm going to say this. Anytime I get to hear when ladies tell me you love leg day, I say to you, Viki, you are a sick freak. You are a mutant. You are a masochist. What about you, Mr. Tony? What do you like to do?
I actually love training all of it. Back in I like training back and shoulders are my favorite. Of course, that's also what I have to focus on for my class too. But I love training everything. I don't train legs. I have combat injuries that keep me from training legs, and so but I like all of it. Yeah.
He had knee surgery last November. And
total replacement.
And we brought him to the VA. They wanted to keep him overnight. Of course, he told them I'm not staying. So when the surgery got done and the doctor was talking to me, he's like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get full range in that knee. And I was like, what? He's not going to be able to squat? And the doctor kind of like, no, I don't think so. But long story short, there's like, well, if you want to leave today, you have to make sure you walk down the hall, walk up and down these stairs and all this before we even let you go. And he's like, all right, fine. So he did that. We got him home, still feeling a lot of the good stuff that he had in surgery. So the next day he goes, I think we need to go to the gym because I want to work my back out. You just had knee surgery and you want to go. So we went to the gym and he did, mind you, 2 days after that, I think everything wore off and he started feeling like, I don't think I'll be going to the gym for a little while.
This is a story. I remember this 2 years ago. Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is what I think was his first heart valve surgery he had. Yeah. And he was riding on a treadmill. His doctor came in and said, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. And he said, I can't, it's 24 hours a day. You have nothing to do, get something to do. You have to be occupied and all, Arnold and Arnold, know. And that's the thing is that I can tell you, like when I had my surgery for my pacemaker, my sister, she drew me there. We stayed overnight. She stayed with me, my big sister, Betty, shout out to her. And it was like a funny feeling for me. I couldn't do anything for a good while. It felt like somebody shot me in my shoulder, know. And it's just a thing about the human body. We go through a lot. Like you've been through combat, you've been in an accident, also having children. The body can go through a lot of trauma, and it's about how we take that trauma and how we use it to grow as a person. Like I talk to ladies that been through some stuff and they tell me that, hey, George, it's tough, but bodybuilding is that sport that, that keeps them going. I mean, like, again, most people don't understand it. Like, your family and friends, I have ladies telling me, like, some ladies told me they got divorced because they got into bodybuilding because the husband don't want, I ain't married no man. I married a woman, but she's still a woman and you got to love a woman. And the other guy was saying about you, Viki, he says, you are beautiful. Well, Tony, you kind of answer, but I don't swing that way. But it's about what fuels you as an athlete, as a person. Right. The risk over reward. Is it worth getting up in the morning, do cardio, or to be disciplined? Because most people don't have that discipline. Just to say, you know what, I got to do this. Sometimes like. It might rain one day. You say, I don't feel like going outside. Then you say to yourself, you know what, I don't feel like driving all the way in the rain, but I'm gonna do a little run. I'll be, do my little early morning cardio. It's a choice of what you want more for yourself than anything.
Right. It is.
Exactly.
We pretty much took this past week off to just try to let our muscles relax, let our bodies relax a little bit because, after you add the 2 weeks from Tampa Pro running up to Max Fit, we had a 19-week prep. So, we took a week off, let our bodies relax. But this coming week we were at the gym today. We'll go tomorrow. We're back at it. But my days during the week, Monday through Friday, well, I take Fridays off from the gym. But Monday through Thursday, I'm up at 3 a.m. Up at 3 a.m., go to the gym, come back, get all my stuff together, and then we eat breakfast and I head off to work. And then on Wednesdays, she opens up her barbershop for the rest of the week, and she's there all day. She runs. I work solo with what I do. She works solo in her shop. And like this past week, you had one, two. She probably had average right around between 18 and 22 customers a day in just a 6-hour period. I'm not talking about all day. I'm talking about like a 6-hour period, running that many skint noggins back to back. And so that's how we work. And neither one of us think it's normal for us. We don't think a thing about it. And because, I get up at 3 a.m., go to the gym, and then the rest of the day when I get home, I'm either on a lawnmower, clipping hedges, putting down mulch, weed eating. All day. Just like Monday, right out of the gate, I've got 4 yards to do as soon as starting at 8 o'clock. So, and that's if I pick nothing else up between now and then. So,
I expect that because I worked since I can remember. I used to remember, like I said, my family were sharecroppers. I was working in the field with my mother and my brothers and sisters. I did blueberries, tobacco. Got my first real job when I was 16, and I worked at a gas station until that place was closed down. I was like a stock person, then I was a cashier, there was the assistant manager. I was holding down, one point I was holding 2 jobs. I was working that job at night, working at textile factories. I did 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, off on Friday, yay. And then I had another job. I used to work at night. I used to work at a gentleman's club. It's not, those guys weren't gentlemen, they wouldn't know me, but it was, I can understand that. But then, like I said, my mom got sick because I quit it was like maybe a month after my pacemaker surgery. I went back to work. I was working. Then they had me doing some stuff. I just turned 40 that day. It was my 40th birthday. I've been working since practically almost 30 years. Right. And I wasn't going fast enough. But you know what? I'm not built for speed. I had to walk out. The next day, my mom got sick. And I was, doing stuff here and there, trying to take care of her. And then, I was trying to work too, but sometimes most places don't want to hire you. You have something like this. So it was working under the table, trying to make them look myself. But, I took care of my mother because she needed me. And I told my family, said, well, do what you can. You can always file for your disability. And that's what I did. And I got it after a while. And I took care of her till she got sick and, till she passed, she got the virus. And after that, what was left for me? I don't have no kids. I don't have no woman. The woman I did have, she was gone. I felt like I was a widower. And doing this content and talking about I was always doing it before. Right. Because it helped me dealing with her stuff and stuff with things she had to do. She had 4 seizures, a stroke, diabetic, and she was going through early stages of dementia. And there was a lot of stuff we had to do. Also at that time, one of my sisters passed away, and a lot of stuff was going on in life. Things were changing, and I had to step up and become the man of the house. Because my brother, he was like kind of the man, but